How can you make your little toddler stop spitting at you, hitting you, or throwing food on the floor without yelling, punishing them, or like shaking them? How can you do that? And why are parenting techniques one of the last things I would recommend you try? Not the first one. And what is it that you can do actually right here, right now, to make sure you get a better chance at handling the situation in a more effective way the next time it happens? Curious to find out? Well, welcome to the next episode of the Zen Supermom Podcast. I made it for you. Hi, my name is Elena. I call myself a mommy tantrum specialist because I used to be specialist at yelling at my daughter and losing my patience. She was not the spitting type, like that's a thing that came out through Mommy Tantrum Masterclass recently, like how can I stop my toddler spitting? But she was playing with food, like putting her fingers in it, making a huge mess everywhere. And she had a period of time when she was trying to hit me, or she was like more physical with me. So all these questions that I'm getting from my parents, from the parents who comes to me for help, even including my brother, if he's listening or watching, hello there, thank you for the inspiration. My brother has now a 3-year-old boy, almost 3, and 1-year-old girl twins. So they are in the thick of it. And so I have plenty of things on how to, like, plenty of examples of where it is really difficult to stay calm for the parents. And so this is what this podcast episode is about. And this is who it is for, because I don't know about you. You can let me know, like in email or anywhere where you're watching or listening to this podcast. I work with parents who already know this is not okay. Like, it's not okay to yell. It's not okay to slap kids over their face or even over the bum. I work with people who understand this is not the most effective way. Yes, it might be the only way that works in the heat of the moment, especially when you want to prevent your kids from getting hurt. So like my brother's son, who's like smashing the little 1-year-old twins, like there needs to be quick action happening, right? But how to do it in a way that's not hurting the kid who's doing it? Because if you did read any parenting books and explanations about psychology of the little brain, how it develops, you will have found that around the age of 2, for sure by the age of 3, the kids are going through a period when they are very good at saying no. They are very good at testing all the boundaries and figuring out, like, what happens then? I'm just curious. What is mom or dad going to do if I do this, right? And so that's how my brother he called me and he said, well, not only he like threw a toy after his sister so it smashed her head, but then he looked at me, smiled, and he did it again before I managed to stop him. Like, what the heck? And he knows that's wrong. He knows we teach him how to apologize. But the little, he smiled in my face. So that's what made my brother, of course, like, rah! Yeah, totally normal. So 0 judgment. Let's take a breath. And let's figure out, because this is the reason why I tell everyone, not just my clients, not just my family, but anyone who would listen, who already tried. If you tried doing those parenting techniques, you try to say everything right, all the scripts, even if you manage to remember it, which usually in the moment of rage and panic, like, oh my God, my little kid is going to get hurt because the older one is going to kill it. You forget all of these parenting techniques, right? And so no matter how many parenting courses, how many scripts you already read, if you find yourself yelling anyways and feeling helpless and out of control, please hear me out. There's nothing wrong with you. 0 judgment, 0 shame. But this is the reason, and why I don't have to even tell you about it. This is the reason why parenting techniques are not first place to go to. Because parenting techniques are all about the kid. The focus is on the kid. Like, what can we do with the kid? And what do we say to manipulate the kid into obedience so that you, the parent, can stay calm? And this is where I say, nah, I'm sorry. But we cannot expect our kids to have more emotional maturity and control over their big emotions than we do. Sorry, but not sorry. This is where our emotional and nervous system needs to lead by example. perfectly imperfect. Nobody needs to be like, you don't need to become a perfect machine or a levitating Dalai Lama, as I'm often joking with my clients. But we need to start figuring out first, what is it that happens with you in those moments? Why is it that black cloud of rage takes over the moment your kid does something like this? Because chances are, the older they are, the more they are doing it indeed because of your reaction. Not just because they're clueless and it was an accident, right? Because if it was an accident, you could help them clean up or apologize and you move on. You start yelling or feel like punishing or even physically like attacking your kids back because it was not an accident. Because you feel like it's becoming personal. They are doing it to me on purpose. Or they don't care about me, how that's impacting me. That's how I felt like a total victim. When my daughter was at this stage around, 2 years old, when she was a baby, I was like, she doesn't know better. She wants to smash everything. So then I was like, it's my role as a parent just to put everything out of her reach so that whatever I don't want to get smashed and dirty and whatever, like I put it away. Of course, it's my fault she did it because I left it there. So she's a baby, she grabbed it. Right. But when they become 2-3 years old, our expectations as parents are they should stop doing it because they know better. We talked about it. I explained. They say, they nod that they understand. And sometimes they're able to follow. But there are situations when they look you in the eye, they smile and they do it anyways. And you're like, oh, right? So that's why that's your indication. This is your moment when you should start paying attention. Okay, this is not about the situation. This is not even about my child. They are testing my reaction. They are doing it on purpose. And so then your answer is not be more strict, be more controlling, be more angry and upset because you already know where that goes, right? If there would be any parents of bigger kids and teenagers, you could testify to that. The more you escalate with more rage, even more control and more anger and more punishments, then your kids will meet you there. They will be escalating and the situations will be getting worse. That's why I have lots of parents of teenagers coming to me and telling me like they're slapping doors. The bigger ones, they're even leaving the house. They are getting in problems. They are yelling back nasty words at me. They are telling me I'm the worst mom in the world and I should have never had them as kids. Like you should have never become a mom and things like this. Because of this escalation, only hurt people hurt others. So that's why if you're a mom of a toddler or a baby and you want to stop this madness and this power fight, this like power play with your kids, the sooner you stop it, the better. Not to say there's no hope for the parents of the teenagers. Of course there is. The path is actually exactly the same. You need to work with yourself and your reactions first so that then you can help them. But no joke, like if you already have teenagers, it's going to take much longer for you to see results than the parents of babies and toddlers, right? Because if there's one thing you noticed, kids learn more. Actually, they don't learn much from what we teach or preach and trying to explain logically, long stories of logically explaining why we need to be on time and like blah, blah, blah. 2-year-old couldn't care less about time. They don't even understand numbers. So what does it matter for them? You explaining them why you need to be on time, right? But what they do, how they learn the most is not by what you say, what you preach, but what you do, how you react. Yeah. And I don't care that 99% of time you're calm as cucumber, but that 1% of time when you lose it, when you yell, when you use rough hands, that's what will get stuck in their nervous system the most, especially if there's a fear reaction behind it, if they get scared by you. That's what will get imprinted in their nervous system, and that will become their default when they grow up. They will either become this exact version of you, they will be having same reaction, or they will go and try to have the opposite. They will mold into the good girl and the beep who's even afraid to make a beep so that nobody would yell at them. And so that's the people with low self-confidence who are super stressed out and like to create conflict and to say what they want because they're afraid they will be judged and punished for it, right? So either way, and I don't want to say it like you either create bully or you break your child, but like in a way, that's what I was afraid of. When I noticed that I was yelling at my daughter for like smashing things or hitting me, that's what I was afraid of. That I'm either going to make her into bully, like I was bullying her because I couldn't manage my emotions. And so, and how you know you're becoming a bully? When you realize you want your child to hurt. That was the worst moment I experienced, when I realized when my daughter was getting hurt because she did something I told her not to do. And I was like, and then she got hurt. And me, instead of feeling sorry for her and going with compassion, helping her, like soothe her, the first emotion I felt was satisfaction. I was like, now you know why I told you not to do it, and good on you, because now you will not do it again. I told you not to do it. It's your fault. And so you hurt, and so good on you. Now at least you know how I feel, because I hurt. I feel like I'm disrespected, and how dare you, and I'm doing so much, and you're not, like, you cannot even follow basic instructions, so good on you that you got hurt. That's the moment when I realized I'm becoming my daughter's first bully, because that's what bullies do, right? And only then, when that emotion washed over me, then I realized, like, oh shoot, like she's hurting, and my bullying reaction actually makes it even worse, because then she's not only in physical pain, but she's in emotional pain as well. So this is when I realized, well, I don't want my daughter to become a bully for her kids one day. And I also don't want her to become, like, to break hurt and to feel like it's her fault, that her mom cannot manage her emotions, so it's all her fault, and so she should walk on eggshells around me for the rest of her life, like I used to do when I was little. I learned, that's why, thank you, mom. That's why I'm here. I don't blame my mom for anything. However, my mom, being the momzilla and yelling like I used to, actually taught me to walk around eggshells on her and read her emotions. That's why I'm so good at spotting patterns and helping my clients now, because even from how they talk or how they look like, I'm very good at identifying where is it that they are stuck and what is it that makes them, yeah. Because I felt like as a kid, I felt like I cannot, it's not safe for me to pay attention to whatever I'm feeling. It's not safe for me to say what I need, because I need to watch out for mom. As long as I keep mom happy and do what she wants before she even asks me to, then she will be more available to give me more hugs and more praise, and the atmosphere at home will be calmer. And so then I can relax, right? Kids don't think about, like, my nervous system can relax. Kids don't, yeah? But they feel the energy. You knew it. If you think back about your childhood, you knew it. The tension at home, you open the door and you're feeling the tension. Nobody even says anything, but you feel like, uh-oh, somebody's in trouble. Is it me? Kids can feel, they read energy, they read the room, right? And that's how they actually also then, like, interact with you. This is what's going on when they are spitting, throwing food, hitting you, calling you names. It's not about the situation itself. It's your relationship in that moment that is challenged, okay? That's why parenting techniques are the last thing to focus on and waste time with. You need to look at first, how am I contributing to it? Or how did I trigger that? Or how did I contribute to that in the past? Maybe it's not about what you did today, but how is it that you reacted the last 5, 10, 20 times it happened in the past? Because that's the pattern continues from there. It's not just about what's happening today, right now. Does that make sense? So take a breath. Let's detangle a little bit. Yeah, because the first thing, and what I mean by, like, you work on yourself, the first thing where you need to look at, how do I feel? How do I feel the moment my kid does that? How do I feel the moment they smile in my face and do it anyways and hit the sibling, right? Or spit or at me or whatever, right? How does that make you feel? Okay, disrespected, out of control, whatever it is. Okay, take a breath. And then think back, who is the first person who made you feel that way in your life? Who was the person who was making you feel disrespected, not good enough, or out of control, or like they are out there to get me, or they are doing things and I cannot make them stop? Yeah. Or no matter how hard I try, it's never my way, or it's always for them. I'm always doing something for them. I can never do something for myself. Right? It's always about them. I have to put myself last. Who is it that taught you this? Yeah? Because we are not here to blame our parents. We are not here to point fingers anywhere. This is not about you had a horrible childhood. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you had a happy childhood like me and my brother. But there were some patterns. We learned how to manage our emotions. We learned how to interact with others when we were growing up. Those first 3 years of our lives, you can never get rid of that. Even if you think you can stuff it, you can learn, you can pretend, you can get better. Like, that's the default autopilot of your nervous system. That's what will come up. The more stressed out, the more on the edge you are, the more that autopilot is going to reveal itself. Even if you don't remember anything about about your childhood, your autopilot, your automatic reaction when you get when you're under pressure, your automatic reaction will tell you everything you need to know in order to be able to heal it and rewire it, because that's what needs to happen first. Okay. In order to help your kids grow up into being respectful adults who are kind, who understand boundaries, who have healthy self-confidence, are not afraid to say what they want and go for their dreams without being afraid of criticism and without bullying anybody along the way. In order to raise a healthy adult like this, you need to become one yourself right now. Yeah. So that you can lead by example even when it gets stressful. Yeah. So that once you rewire that time machine autopilot from your childhood reaction, once you are able to become calm in these situations with your kids, then you actually have the space to focus on why are they doing it. Yeah. My child just spit. My child just hit the sibling. I'm curious, why did they do that? Okay. Was it just to get a raise out of me? Was it because they are frustrated, they are hungry, they are sleepy, they are jealous, they need my attention? What is it? Because depending on the answer, your way of dealing with it might be completely different. Yeah. Or was it an accident? Like for my daughter, when I realized at 2-3 years old, she loved squishing, smashing things. So rather than me feeling like a total victim that I have to clean it all up, I just said, well, okay, I see it. You love the physical touch of it and the feelings when it smashes among your fingers. So how about we go to the bathroom and we start having some whatever. Like I will give you stuff in the bathroom that you can totally squish and smash and put all over, and then it's just easy because the mess is contained, and I'm mentally prepared that yes, it's worth it. Yes, I will clean up just this limited part of the bathroom because we contain the mess and it's controlled at least a little bit, right? So then that's one way to do it because I stopped taking it personally. When a child spits, so why do they spit? Are they spitting food? Is it because they don't like the food? Is it because they are not hungry anymore? Or are they spitting just their saliva because they know it makes you mad? Because the last 10 times they did it, they got your attention just like that? Even though before you were telling them, give me 5 more minutes to finish that, or or you're scrolling through your phone while they're eating food. Like, I'm not there with you, but you start getting curious. I'm not judging anybody, right? So stop shaming, blaming yourself and look at it as camera on the wall. Think about not just the situation that happened today, but the last 3, 5, 10 times it happened in the past. What was really going on? What might have been the reasons for your child to do it? And if the reason was to test your reaction, well, what kind of reaction did you give them? Okay? And if it's about attention, then it starts becoming about, okay, well, how can I give them my attention in a positive way? Or like my brother, he was telling me, I gave him all the attention. He was playing with me. And then he came, I turn around to go to the kitchen and suddenly he smashes his little sister, right? So I gave him my attention. What else can I do? Well, then it's about prevention and it's about managing the consequences, right? And that's when the parenting techniques can help you. Like splitting the kids, not punishing anybody, like go into your room because you're horrible. No, but like, okay, now come and help me cook the dinner. Or you can go and play in the hall while the girls are playing here because you're not safe to play with them right now. So you cannot play together, right? Putting physical separation between them so that they stop hitting, fighting, whatever they are doing, right? Not to punish anybody, but you're not safe. So you will play here, they will play there, or you can help me prepare dinner. That's where I have you contained. You do it with me. Like the possibilities are endless on how you can sort out that situation. But of course, nothing comes to you, because when you're stressed and when you're in a panic mode, like somebody's getting hurt or I am getting hurt and I'm being disrespected, then you start seeing black or red and you cannot see anything else. You just want it to stop right now. And you don't even think about the long-term consequences of you slapping the child, right? Because you just need to sort it right now. But that's why the first step is working with your nervous system, healing those generational patterns from your own childhood and from your past, so that you can be the calm, grounded leader, emotional leader of your home. Seeing every situation as it comes and being able to see what is, among all the options that I have, what is it that I can do right now to keep everybody safe without repeating that generational snowball, and without making my child feel not good enough, not heard, not listened to, out of control. So that they don't have to grow up into being the adult I am today with my dysregulated nervous system, right? That's what you can do. Does that make sense? I know it's not the easy 1, 2, 3. Here's your 3-step script on what to say to your child when they hit you. If you try those scripts and you cannot apply them, or your kids are too smart for that and they don't react the way they should respond, then there's something else going on, and usually it's this. Yeah. So give it a thought, not because I want you to paint your childhood and your parents black and like they are the villains. Not because I'm telling you should spend the next 20 years in therapy talking about everything bad that ever happened to you. No. There are ways to do this fast and clean and precise. But the first step is for you to get curious. Yeah. For you to take ownership of where you contribute to that situation, to that escalation in the moment, and even the repetition that it keeps happening as a pattern. Own your piece of it. And then start identifying, what is it in me that gets triggered? What is it that it might be from my own past? Yeah. And get the help. Yeah. If you want to go deeper in this, I'm having a free Mommy Tantrum Masterclass where I go more into detail about what it takes. And there it's more teaching and selling it. And this is where you can get more answers. Okay. But this is where you can start today. I promised you one thing you can start doing today to make sure the next time you react in a better way. And that's that. Look at how you're contributing to it, and look at which of your own patterns are coming to play together with the emotional nervous system of your child. Yeah, because that's your biggest leverage. You can't control other people. You can't push, punish, bribe your kid into obedience. The best way how to get them to listen and cooperate more is by your emotional leadership, by you becoming the calm, safe parent who can address the behavior without killing the child's spirits and their confidence. Yes? Are you up for that? Well, if you are, then I'm going to see you over in that Mommy Tantrum Masterclass and in the next Zen Supermom Podcast episode. Please know that if you stayed all the way till the end, you didn't get triggered, you don't hate me, you didn't throw your phone across the room because how dare you blame it on me, I'm doing so much. I know you are. So that's why I want to finish. I know you're doing a lot. I know you probably cleaned up a lot of your own stuff from your childhood. And so that's why I want to leave you with like making you feel appreciated. I see you. I know this is not an easy thing to do. I know it takes a lot of courage. So let me appreciate you for that. Your kids one day, ideally, they will not even understand and comprehend the magnitude of like what you did for them. Never. But this is your biggest reward will come one day when you see that not only they are growing into these healthy, self-confident, but kind and respectful human beings, but then that's what I hope one day when I see my daughter with her kids, how she shows up. Like that will be the best. This gives me the chills. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, I know she will make her own mistakes. I know I'm still not perfect, and that's okay. Like life gets messy and stuff happens. But the things that I unpacked from my childhood, I'm doing the best I can so that my daughter doesn't live through the same, so that she doesn't even know what it is to feel that way. Yeah, and that's where the reward comes, right? We want to leave like positive heritage for our kids, not give them to inherit the worst part of us. We want to give them the best, right? So that's what I'm here for, and that's who I am here for. So if that's you, then, and this episode gave you some insights, then let me know. Yeah, even if it helps only one person, then it was worth my time. Perfect. I'm going to see you next time in the Zen Supermom podcast. Bye, Supermom.